What is up, everybody? Here, there's gonna be some announcements, but first, check out Kimmy's Bandcamp. Simple. It's right there, links right there. She was making more music today on stream. I know this because I got the notification on Discord while I was at work. But anyway, we're gonna do more Ace Attorney. And I'm thinking when I should make the announcement. You know, I'll give it like a little bit before I make the announcement. Oh wait, I have it on the automated timer, huh? Oh no, you know that's fine. Let me set the sub goal in the title, and then the sub goal command. Sorry, so that should update relatively soon. But, Alright, you know what? Screw it. We'll give it like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll announce it. Until then, let's play a game. Let's continue our adventures. And I'll make a tweet about it later. Like an actual proper tweet. Some people already know about it on my Discord. Let the proceedings be resumed. Oh, why do I have notifications? Oh, those are some delayed notifications by the bots. What the hell? Alright, let's do this. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. Ooh, yes, man. There are two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. First is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. Second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Begad, no, 'tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. Truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell you all or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGilded. The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true! Aye, and 'tis was me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You? What? No, Magnus McGilded, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. Because this man just doesn't have it in him to rat someone out, I swear. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was... well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. I don't know about this, champ. Who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I've never saw her before or since. We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. By the way, forgive me, chat. I am tired as shit because I had to work. I had to do an on-site that lasted all day, and with travel time and traffic, I got back in at 5 p.m. and then I immediately had to go and deal with things I had meant to do as an overtime job to reboot a server and stuff. But and that server took a while because of some other things to reboot. So I ended up working until like I would have ended up like if I didn't have an hour lunch today because I was on site and I was with my manager, I would have ended up working like 11 hours or so. Oh god. But I still ended up working like 10 hours and some change. Prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. Well, you know what? Fuck you too, man. Fuck you too. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't either, really. If the urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. Bang! Ah, smoke. Alright, fire. There's a fire. Look, someone's trying to get away. Cough, cough. There's no use. Cough. I can't see anything. Wait, let's see. Look, someone's trying to get away. Cough after them. It's no use. Cough, cough. I can't see anything through all the smoke. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruto. They'll cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. We were hurriedly moved from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff, and the scene of chaos as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. You know what? This makes for a good part to make my sub-goal announcement. Alright, so for the duration of the sub-goal announcement, we're going to hide the follower goal. Here we are. The one chip challenge with featuring mixed scrimmage. And I believe, did it update? Did the title update? Let's see. I want to make sure it updated before I hit the sub goal. Or before I use the sub goal command. Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Here we go. There's a sub goal command. So the plan is for 10 subs. If you guys hit, you want? Let me change over to full cam real quick. 10 subs. If we hit the 10 subs to fulfill the sub goal, and there's a 2-month time period, starts today. Well, 2.5. Starts today, ends October 31st. That's the date. I said it because, ironically, I feel like that's enough time. It'll end around my birthday. If not, I will have to do something different. But I figure 2 months is enough to get 10 subs, right? Tell your friends, tell your family, whatever. Somebody, if they have Twitch Prime, you have them use that. It's fine. It'll count. Because what we're doing is this here one chip challenge from Pakui. So, this is how they packaged it this time around. I know the last couple, each time when they restocked, the box looks different. There was a couple times where it was a black box. I believe the last time they used a black box as well. But this time they used the red and yellow color scheme with, like, basically on the front, but then yellow and black, you know, to represent danger and warning. So, this is a single chip with the Carolina Reaper and the Scorpion Pepper. Like, I guess, I don't know what we'll call it. Flavored in, built in, I don't know. Made with it. I bought 2 because they restocked. I figure, screw it. I either end up doing having one for a sub goal challenge and having one for like a subathon or something. But then Scrimmage said he was down to have it with me. I will have him on my stream at my house for this when we do it. And that's it. That's the sub goal. So sub away, people. Back to the game. All right. Like, see, I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna die. I might For all I know, because I can I can handle my spicy. If it's too much in one single chip, it might kill me. Like my friend made Carolina Reaper salsa for me, and I had too much in one sitting, and that burned the hell out of my stomach, and my ass was on fire for like all of Sunday last week, and then all of Monday. I wasn't fine until like Tuesday morning. Ugh. But by the way, that salsa was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. Too bad my coworker ain't watching right now. Otherwise, my friend and coworker, that's who it is. Otherwise, she'd just be like laughing that I'm talking about it again because I told her how bad I suffered. She also knows about this and she wants to watch it happen. Oh boy. The Old Bailey defendant's antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mrs. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade. A type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of things ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who could have done something? Who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilda was talking about? Possible. My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilda, actually? There are some things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk for what possible benefit to herself. There's another matter that troubles me. That's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. According to a coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. They didn't charge her. That's probably what it was. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. This just became an insane mess. Why are we doing this? I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Mr. Sato. Yes! Oh, boy. Oh, and now that I got Greninja in Pokemon Unite, I think sometimes I should do a Pokemon Unite stream. But we'll see, we'll see. The Old Bailey courtroom. What the heck? There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilda. Look, she must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilda. Now then, Lord Van Zieks. My lord. I believe you've established the cause of the smoke which failed the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army! What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. Now occupies a stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? Ahem, if I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilda. I think perhaps I ought to explain you why it is that this wee lass here was here in the first place and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGilden, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Oh, we totally fucking do, and we're not gonna succeed in getting that, so we gotta pry it out of him now. The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, Begorra! A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at me feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remained somewhat baffled, I confess. Well, from what I gathered on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? This is exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? So, like, I swear, okay, right here. We're pausing right here. We're not pausing, but we're leaving it on the screen right here. Where it says, yes, my lord. Every time I read my lord right now, the thought that crosses my mind is freaking Samuel L. Jackson holding a purple lightsaber pointing at Palpatine. Well, I see Samuel L. Jackson, but like it was basically fucking God, what was it? Why am I blanking on his name? I'm so bad right now. Mace Windu. There we go. Yeah. Like, right as I searched it up, I thought it at the same time. But I was like, perfect. I thought it at the same time. And I fucking looked it up at the same time. So it's like, oh, fucking great. Of course, that's when I remember, right? But anyways, yeah. Mace Windu holding the purple lightsaber and telling Palpatine, you're under arrest, my lord. Oh, man. That's a thought that crosses my mind right now. You would think I would think Code Geass first or something, because they keep using my lord, my lord, my lord. But, oh, I don't. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. And when you first got on the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was rather empty and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were, I see. Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain what exactly you mean by the back seat? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Lord Van Zeeks. Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. Business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try where at all possible to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and where fours first. The whys and wherefores. Right, you are. There are some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddle in. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self just do just the same? Yes, scream, he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Loud thud, you say, and a scream? That's right, how can I explain? So it's like the sound of someone falling to the ground, that sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the ground floor having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't say it like that. When the sound woke me, I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same time, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume. No, not above me, no, my lord. Tis was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else inside the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I can see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious! Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I had been sitting, I found there was a cubby hole there for storage. Mrs. Nutter, hold up. We can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. That's when I found her. Can we get his update? That's blood, isn't it? Is something wrong? Oh, it's just, well, this blood stains so obvious. It wasn't there before. Oh, and yet Van Zieks made no mention of it. I suppose that does seem a little strange. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? As the blood soaked into the seat, the victim was obvious. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof. Would you really stab someone in full view of another passengers like that? Well, it was after dark. There was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. He has a handle, it seems. This is a storage compartment, there's nothing in here, it's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. You say she was hiding herself. Oh yeah, that's right. This was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in me chest. Ugh, really overreacting this. Overacting, sorry. But still, and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, just next to the dead gentleman in there. So you sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I need to find out just who this urchin was, you see? And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fellow's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilden. What they believed to be you, yourself, and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage, out of sight. Out of sight and out of mind. It's certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps with this young girl. After that, of course, the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong. Something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events are clear, explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who was the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here, a petty thief? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A thief indeed. Ordar! Ordar! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Nope. Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. Arg! How dare you? What is the meaning of this? Ah, the girl. She's gone. Open your eyes. I'm over here. Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say she slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed in the corner and so she knifed the jet. Go on, that's what's your heads say, ain't it? That's what in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast it. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Oh, man. Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I left it the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheeled drags. It's nice, ain't it? I like the pink the best. Ah, do not wave that thing in my direction again. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question? Tis alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I have to. What the girl saw. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, and just like always. But it was right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. I'll tell you, can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out me skin. I did, and just the scream just came out. I did. It's because that this swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilden. Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't have possibly killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? I'm sure I said it before, sir. I was sitting on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I sat that night. And the cubbyhole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye. But of course, the wee lass was stuck in there, because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. Ah, as you see, so you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew if the police found her, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your actions would result in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart I was innocent. That I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman. My lord. This fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty? Mr. Naruto, well, it must mean what? That we're victorious. We won? Are you sure? Put his foot down like this. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourteous. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in the British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion. The witness's last statement gives us clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord, the evidence has been tampered with. So in order to elaborate Mr. McGilden's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What? Order! Order! How could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to happen. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend, me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as would any self-respecting practitioner of law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead. You tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zieks. Well, counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? I really don't know if giving the answer is helping my cause as the counsel for the defense, but as far as I remember at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, counsel? I'll be whisked. What are you saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand, but it seems to me that I should state the facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. 'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fellow's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it may be in your best interest to not admit that you might have been mistaken? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. The compartment is designed to house the equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state the omnibus should be properly and fully equipped at all times, so it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Bipple isn't that irresponsible. The money-lending fleecer and the picked purse are lying. Ah! I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, a lot of them. What? Oh no. The trick! Of course it's a trick. It's a trick, of course it's a trick. Quite so, I must concur here. Calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is a matter of outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Indeed it is. Yes, indeed. What the girl saw. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. And you let out a scream involuntarily? That's right, and then I felt the cushion over me get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes? Or not? Could it equally have been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened at the crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion and had a quick butcher's while I had a chance. And the Irishman was sitting up the bloke who had fallen on the floor on the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGilded's account, of course. But then the fellow suddenly turns around and looks at me. I sunk back down again, but it was too late. By then, I should have never risked looking. I should have never risked looking. But because of this, the swell found me. He did help me get away, mind. A waste of time, why is that? Well, most nights, I'm on my own in the God permit at least some of the time. I beg your pardon, did you say God permit? Yeah, well, that's what my kind call it. You'd say the omnibus, I suppose. Point is, any normal run, the carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. That's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it, only that night. This cove was sat on me seat from the start. And he didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch, I was totally stuck. You mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cabin? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right, mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift the cushion you just sat on and find a child now, do you? So this Mr. Lestrade couldn't possibly be the culprit then. And when Mr. McGillick discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff. He dragged me out and sat me down on the seat and all. Next to the victim, Mr. Mason? Yeah, that bloke had a knife in his gut. He was still bleeding. Then the carriage lurched a bit and he ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. Both me hands are covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog. Both our hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. After that, I believe you talked to Mr. McGilda for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. Wanted to know my name and what I was up to and that. I heard something from up above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, one would presume. Well, I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. Then the horses were drawn up smartish, and this here Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury had decided the defendant was innocent. One brief shining moment, yes? Yo, what up, Thomas? Hey, go check out what the sub goal is. I'm gonna get some water.
New subscription received. Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Whoa, hold on. I got back and I heard that sub. Whoa.
Captain.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Resubscription received.
Gifting 10 subs, Thomas, please. Thanks for gifting it to Zeneron. Wait, K-Bot got one too. Holy shit. So okay, thanks for giving one to Zeneron91, K-Bot, Raika, Kemi, Cleferson, Arya, Hochizora, which is Tommy, Gino, Stormy got one. Whoa, Wood Elf, and Logia. What sub goal? Oh shit! Hold on, boys. I gotta hop in chat with Scrimmage.
Class 2 access granted. Enjoy
Thank you for all the subs, my friend. Thank you for all the subs. You just blew that sub goal out the door.
Class 2 access granted. Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, Scrimmage.
Received. Apparently you are doing something right.
So, sir, we need to coordinate when we do this. The sub goal got blown out the door by Ixia.
Oh god.
He gifted 10 subs, one go.
Oh my god. Oh god. So anyone who doesn't know, they got this chip challenge, right? You guys had a chip challenge of some sort?
Yeah, the Pakui one chip challenge. So we gotta coordinate when we do this, my friend.
I see it. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's it right there, Orlin. Yeah. Thomas, let me show you what you you have brought us onto this death-looking thing.
Oh my god.
There's even a warning in the back of it.
What's the warning?
The warning is: do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers, nightshades, or capsaicin, or are pregnant or have any medical conditions. Keep out of reach of children. After touching the chip, wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas. Seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing, fainting, or extended nausea.
Oh my god. You guys
Can't wait to
really...
see. Yes, this will be done on stream. This will be done a lot sooner than I intended.
When do you guys want to do it?
I don't know. That's why I'm in here. Scrimmage. What's a good day?
See what a good day with that. Yeah, because
we'll have to coordinate. We'll have to coordinate off stream if anything.
Yeah.
All right. But let's try to do it sooner rather than later. Okay. Anyways, good day.
I will look forward to that. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't checked them out, we already have the multi up, so you guys can actually incidentally watch K-Dash right now on my side. And yeah, see the chips. Yeah, okay. Ooh! Double dragon. Double dragon.
Oh boy. But you all have fun. All right. And that was that. Back to the game. Actually, hold on. Let me text my friend. Oh, Thomas, I appreciate you and thank you. I was definitely not expecting that to get blown out the gate like that. So, we're gonna make a thing of it. I don't know how long that stream will be, but maybe hopefully I'll play a game with Scrimmage while we're at it, while we're suffering. You are welcome to also come hang with us, Thomas. You'll just come to my house if you want to do that. It'll just be me, you, and Scrimmage at that point. I figure at that point, we bring you along. You won't suffer it, but you'll be here as a third witness to watch us suffer. Oh, you're good? Alright. This man gifted 10 subs out the gate. I guess I'll leave that on there for a day to just show. Yeah, and I'm gonna mention it on Twitter, like we just posted it. Sub goal was supposed to happen, and the next year blew it out the window. Oh boy. Oh, my fan is going crazy. So, did you gift the 10 subs because you just wanted to see this happen? I gave it 2-month time limit, like from now till October 31st, expecting full damn well for it to take a while, but nope. It was only 10. Yes, it was only 10. True. But like, you know, I figured 10 was like a nice fair amount, like, and not 20, you know? If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence amongst new testimony. Which, to be fair, it's fair, right? 10? Yeah. You basically paid for these chips, and then me and Skirmish should suffer. And then I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yes, I think you're right. But I have this niggling feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. See, if you had waited till September to gift the 10 subs, you would have been fine. You would have gotten it cheaper, but you're like, this is worth the suffering, right? This is worth the money spent. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, something's definitely kind of a bother. So what'd you do today anyway? Did you have to work overtime or something? So you were already in the omnibus before you even set off on its run. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a rum idea, ain't it? So which means there's no point in spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that this girl is a petty thief? Kindly refrain from entertaining her tenants. Well, that does clear up a little mystery of the fares and all. 4 passengers paying 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which cabin testified, and 1 little scapegrace riding for free. The red conch of a driver always goes for some grub before his last run, see? That's when I slip into a carriage and get myself hidden under the seat nice and easy, right? But your hiding place is a storage compartment, full of equipment for the coach, no? Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that stuff out and cram it in the corner or somewhere. But no one ever seems to bother much. Yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. Seems we've reached the end of the line of inquiry. Continue. But it was right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. A waste of time, why is that? Well, most nights I'm on me own the God for me. Yeah. Oh yeah, already. So you couldn't see it out into the cabin at all. Not a jot. Most days I push up the cushion with me head and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher's at who I'm gonna fiddle. Thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. The seat I get under ain't as plush as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, this here Irishman spent the whole journey over me head. For that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peak. I see. The truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being done in the clink. Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Counsel? I was just wondering if Miss Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. This is nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. 'Tis was terrifying, so it was. By the way, Thomas, I got your ninja. So I guess I should use an excuse to learn him and play more Pokemon Unite when I get a chance. Assuming I'm not busy all weekend again. I see, yes. I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. And I don't know about yourself, but I find that darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything, an unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes. What should we make of the last statement of hers? It's profoundly important. My lord, I believe that statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important. But all she said... was that she heard nothing. Yes, which was the profoundly important part. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last statement, please. What supplement? What are you talking about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work on me. That's right. Insult the judge. Always a good move. So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry. Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and have a butcher's to see what was what. But then when I saw the swell getting on, I got me head down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilda sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you... Ooh, Adam and Eve it? What? Mug? What a mug. So all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out there as soon as I heard leave, see? Well, would he? Not likely. Even though we stopped here and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. Were there any conclusions we could draw from that? It doesn't add up. Mrs. Lestrade, what you have just told the court clearly is at odds with the facts. Ah, at odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. Oh, holy shit, Larry dropped a 6th again. Seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Counsel! I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or at least, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGill snoring, but you think, Ridenoski, think. There's something else you should have heard. Ooh. Was it he who screamed or he who screamed? Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. Very sound very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. One of these two. I forget who screamed. We've seen the phantoms are at work again. This time in my Nipponese friend's ears. I concur, no apparent sound to me at all. Holding council. Oh, let's load because we're really fucking up now. The only other thing I can think of is like presenting a picture of him. Do I have to look this up? There we go. Thrice fired Mason. Okay, so yeah, I got the bang across now, or him falling over. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear. I was trying to get like people screaming and then also body falling over, but like with the cut crime scene on the third try. The Is that of the victim, Mr. Mason boarding? Oh, boarding as well, yes. Ordar, explain your reasoning, counsel. Ms. Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on the board of the omnibus, is that correct? Yes, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded? That it was not. A soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were all intents and purposes alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at the time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat. He was on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its... let's see. After that on its onward journey. During which time you did not hit the door opening or closing at all. Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for the swell to leave? In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah! We know the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah! Yes, this petty statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks. Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths and nothing more. He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus? That makes no sense whatsoever. And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. Ah, she didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little Mike just because she has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. Neither can I. Neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Ah, Mr. Nothold, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me. What would make you throw that glass again? Yes, very refreshing. Ah! God, what are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? This is carnage. It's perfect. Jury number 2 is the only one left. Mrs. Nothold, the way this is going, I know. If we can't find a new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilded's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in the service know we must accept hard truths. Aha! The witness's last statement seemed to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if you consider the possibility that her last statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel! I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my education. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. Yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came inside the carriage. He was there already? No. There's another entrance. He was put there after he died. There's another entrance. The windows. Or even under the carriage. The story was the only explanation is the victim entered the closed cabin from the way. I wonder what new fantasy you will come up with in your blind panic. Behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the cabinet is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly open in short. There's no entrance into the cabinet other than the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh really? Yes. One other way isn't that inside that isn't the door. Another opening to use the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. Defense will identify the location. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight! That's the only thing. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words, however... The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through. So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as a noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained, as the sound of the victim falling from a seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witness described? A noise not enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact... that was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight in the cabin? Yes. After being stabbed. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because the victim had fallen through the skylight, as you say. Passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Might a humble fella make a weak comment here? Mr. McGilded. To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified before said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the one who stuck the ones who stuck the knife in the man were... Ah! Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter! He said, you rotter! What are you insinuating? Okay, the AC's on. This is a flaming outrage. I have a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay. You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker, and me, a very angry hatter, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's odd. I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too. About you rotten scoundrel. Order, order, order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit the wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond my reason, my lord. Ah, this is outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Ziek. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended it. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof of the deck of the omnibus. The hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see the matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. Testify! 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 What's happening, Mr. Narula? Spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First, my lord, you will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. I'm gonna let them testify and then I'm gonna stop there. Refuting the accusation. We were the only 2 people up on the roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think either one of us would have noticed? Unless you were conspiring together. In any case, neither of us would know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Skylight was shut. Was shut the entire time. I tell you, we couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that, on listening to this testimony, it's somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck. Without the other noticing forthwith. That's right. You see, we're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down to if the 2 of you were in collusion with one another. What? Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the 2 witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. Trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Because I am rather tired, I will stop here. This is just a short stream, mostly to get the sub-goal announcement out, and then I guess for Exia to blow the sub-goal out the water. We're gonna raid. Who are we raiding? We'll raid Orland. Thank you again, Thomas. I appreciate you very much. Funny that K-Bot got it too. So, if we can use the raid and sub-raid messages. There's a lot of people lurking today. So the number won't be high, but Orland will get 1 more viewer. But anyways, good day, y'all. I'm tired, I need some relaxation, and I'm gonna watch Bad Batch. And I will end it with this. We will see this happen soon. Goodbye, and good night. Bang.